know if you heard, unless you've been living on a rock, but Mint is shutting down. And y'all, I have not used Mint in years, but I love Mint. Mint is great in the beginning. If you are new here, your girl, she writes her budget down. She also puts it in an Excel file, and she uses an app. But Mint was like my first budgeting app that I used. And even initially, I don't really feel like it was a budgeting app. It was more so like a spend tracker. And it would show you your net worth if you added your accounts. But then they started kind of like that budgeting piece where you could set your budget, and you can kind of change the amount each month and things like that. But y'all, when I heard Mint was shutting down, I was actually a little sad because Mint was that girl. Okay, I'm just telling you, Mint was that girl, especially if you're new to budgeting. Now, I guess I shouldn't say that it's shutting down. Mint is owned by Intuit, which owns TurboTax, Credit Karma, and all these other things. They are moving certain features of Mint to Credit Karma. But what we do know is not going to exactly be the same. Also, you know, your girl's a little bougie about how her websites look, and Mint has always just had a really clean, easy to use site. We're not going to fully get into why Intuit is shutting down Mint, but just know this, like something that I picked up on very early on once Intuit bought Mint, and I don't even remember if it was set up like this previously, but for income, they definitely depended on like referral fees, right? So you notice if you were on the site, and I probably even now, like if you go on there, like they're offering you other products. And truthfully, Mint was a loss leader for Intuit. Let's be real. Like, it really didn't have a type of income plan that could really maintain itself. And I always wondered how long it was going to take, because a lot of financial apps in that fintech space, like they may start out free or they have a free option, but they really need that paid option to keep things going because tech is not cheap. But I will say there's so many users of the Mint app that for Intuit, it really was a benefit to have that information because they have so many other products, i.e. TurboTax. Everybody knows about TurboTax. We don't know about TurboTax. I mean, maybe you don't live in the US, but how do you not know about TurboTax? So eventually I felt like it was eventually going to happen. I always wondered, but now the time has come. At the beginning of the year, Mint will be no longer, and they'll be transferring those features over to Credit Karma. But like I said, only certain features. Mint actually sent me an email, and so they said the most popular features, right? So you'll still be able to connect your accounts and monitor your net worth. I think that was kind of like one of the biggest things that I loved about Mint in the beginning, or once they rolled out that feature, because I don't know if I was able to do that in the beginning. Like I said, Mint has been around for a long time. Definitely like over 10 years. I think it got sold to Intuit like maybe 09, 2010, sometime in there. And I may be aging myself, but I still look good, okay? All right. You still can track your spending in when it moves to Credit Karma, and you can actually link your Mint account to Credit Karma, and it will keep track of at least your 3 past years of information. But you know, the most important feature, I guess for most people, at least if it was me, and you know, the reason why I recommend Mint in the first place would be the budgeting feature. Like if you're not moving that over, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess a lot of people didn't use the budgeting feature. I thought the budgeting feature was the most important feature, but they're not moving that over, which tells me that you're not going to get those notices. Like one thing I loved about Mint, and they still would send it to me even though I didn't use it, my budget has completely changed, but like once you attach your cards and they see how you're spending, they would kind of put it in different budget categories, and sometimes you would have to move things out if it wasn't correct, but they will tell you like, hey, you're over in this area. And that would be helpful, especially if you're trying to monitor your spending during the month, which you should be, so that you know to pull back in certain areas or make adjustments in other areas so that you stay on budget overall. So since we're not going to have Mint anymore, and even though it's going to Credit Karma, I'm not going to co-sign that that's going to be the best move. Let's talk about some other options that are out there. Some will have a free option, but realistically, most of the options in the fintech space for budgeting apps are paid. So the first one I'll bring up is EveryDollar. I feel like if you're in the budgeting app world or you like budgeting apps, then you've heard of EveryDollar. It is owned by Dave Ramsey. They have a free feature and a premium feature. The free feature does not allow you to connect your accounts, but you are able to set up a budget. It's going to be a zero-based budget, and you can adjust that budget monthly, right? Which is important because your budget is not the same every month. Something is going to change. Something's coming up. You have birthdays, you have events, you have travel, whatever. So it does have that feature, but if you want to connect your accounts, you are going to have to pay for that premium feature. So I have some notes here now because y'all know your girl is not trying to remember. All right, so for the premium feature, like I mentioned, you can connect those bank accounts. You can plan your paychecks with it. There's so many other options available. I saw you could set up goals and things like that. The premium feature is $17.99 a month or $80 a year. And they have a special deal for people coming from Mint over to EveryDollar, and they want that premium, those premium features. You're going to be able to get 2 months of premium for free if you come from Mint. So they have a special sign up page for that, which I can link below. The next app I want to mention is Empower. That app is actually used to be Personal Capital, which love Personal Capital. They have a budgeting app. This one is completely free, where you can set up your budget. You can kind of track your net worth and connect your account. So it is an option. They have an app and everything where you can access it. So it is something you can check out. You're able to track your spending, which is, really good. I'm all about tracking your spending because all of that funnels into your budget. This is probably the only one I'm going to mention that is completely free, but there are some other apps out there, but I don't want to throw 50 million apps at you at one time. What I could do is just start dropping different videos with different budgeting apps out there, since we have about a month and a half before this transition happened. Next app you can look into is Much. I really like this app. I actually use this app. You're able to connect unlimited accounts, and I got multiple accounts, so that's very helpful for me. You can track your net worth. You can track your investments. It also has a goal tracker. So there's lots of features for this particular app, and I definitely think that you should check it out. You should definitely test it out. It has a 30-day free trial. After the 30 days is $7.99 per month or $70 for the year. The next app is Monarch. Now, I've been eyeing Monarch for a while. I actually want to try it myself. I'm trying not to because it's a paid app, and I already got an app. I just told you who I was using. But I think I am going to try it out, definitely for the channel to talk about it. I like the interface. I really like the interface, what I've seen. So you're able to connect multiple accounts. You can create transaction rules. That is something that's kind of similar to what I would say YNAB, which I haven't mentioned in this because YNAB is a little more costlier, but we can talk about it if you want me to. Let me know below. Of course, you have budgeting tools. You have net worth tools, which we love. So if you connect your accounts, your investments, anything you own, things like that, is able to track your net worth and where you fall, which makes it a little bit easier to know where you are every single month. You can collaborate with your partner, so with your spouse, and this is why it's been catching my eye because it's a clean interface, and all of these are. I'm not going to give you an interface that's not clean. Just know that. I don't do that. I like a good looking site, but I think it might be a friendlier look for my significant other, like my husband, to be able to, I think he's not a money dude. So, to I think he might like it and it may seem easy for him, right? So I like that. I like that you're also able to like connect your like financial advisor and things like that if you want to. That's only if you want to. And I think it's like a read only mode. So it's not like your advisor can do stuff, but they can see what's going on so they can give you the proper advice. Because if your advisor doesn't really know all the situation, they really can't give you good advice, just being real. Now, if you import your information for Mint, they are going to give you 50% off because they cost also. You can get 7 days for free, but it's typically $15 a month, sorry, $15 a month, or $100 for the year. So I think too, truthfully, when I look at Monarch, and I've thought this for, I should say always, because Monarch hasn't been around that, I don't want to say that long. I don't know how long they've been around, but they've been on my radar for about a year or two. Maybe a year. But when I looked at their features, they made me think of a paid Mint with more features. So I always thought that, and that's why I've been wanting to try them. So it's an option. If maybe financially at this moment you can't pay for an app, you can afford an app, I definitely will I'll do some more research and see if I can find some additional free apps besides Every Dollar and Empower. But also, you can literally create your own budget and have a budget in Google Sheets or write it on paper. If you're not sure how to create a budget, then I'm gonna put a video here. Go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you next time with an all new video.